Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed to our WiggyWam Get Your Property Questions Answered webinar. We are into week 13, and as you can probably see, I am finally back home and back in sunny Blighty after what was an extended trip away into India, which I thoroughly enjoyed, had a great time, if it wasn't for the little complications that we experienced along the way. But have to say again, thank you to the health service over in India, who took great care of us whilst we were over there, and also really pleased to actually get back into the UK and get back into the swing of things, because we've got some pretty incredible things planned over the course of the next, well, I suppose 5 or 6 weeks as we head into the Christmas period and into the new year. Really looking forward to shaking up the housing market with our releases, which will remain under wraps for a little bit longer. For those of you who have been asking about it or been wondering or tentatively waiting on the sidelines, as I know some people have, as to wondering what we're actually up to and what we're going to be launching, I'm pretty excited because I believe very firmly in my heart of hearts that it's actually going to cut down on a number of the delays that people experience when they're looking to buy or sell a property. And I also believe it's going to help estate agents to get deals done a lot more quickly, and also conveyancers to also embrace the same, but without having to sort of comply with numerous bits of technology, which seems to be a resistance point, but also to help them earn more money, or to, shall I say, actually earn what they're worth. As a result of working alongside us and working with us. So that's something to keep an eye open for, keep looking out for. A bit of a market update for you as well, just before we kick off with the questions that we've got in this week. And as we're waiting for a couple of people to join us, that the market seems to be taking a bit of a turn, and I think it's not unexpected. There's now the pundits seem to be divided into two camps, and the one camp is over here saying, "Don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's going to be carrying on exactly as it is." And some people are saying it's cheaper to buy a house now than it was back in 2007, which I find surprising. I'd like to see the statistics behind that and how the maths works out. And then you've got the other side of the camp, which is the doom and gloom. Oh my God, the sky is falling and we're going to have some tremendous problems in the near future. I tend to sit probably somewhere in the middle, although with a cautious sense of optimism about the future. The market has been too hot. If I speak openly, it has been far too hectic as a result of the stamp duty holiday, or whatever label you want to put on that. And I think the post-COVID volatility has started to dissipate, and we're seeing a fall in registrations of buyers in the marketplace. And that's probably the biggest indicator that things are starting to shift and starting to change. Now, the issue that, shall we say, estate agents and sellers have faced is that there's been a shortage of properties available, and that's caused a swelling number of buyers to pursue a smaller number of properties. And that, of course, has an impact in, if you look at the classic supply and demand graphs, it causes prices to increase. But now, as the result of the tables turning and buyers moving out of the market, there will be more properties becoming available, because stock will come to the market. It won't sell as quickly. It'll be on the market for longer. And as a consequence, those prices will begin to settle, and sellers will be competing against more sellers also trying to sell at the same price bracket or in the same area. That will cause a cap on prices, and prices inevitably will start to fall as people try and entice buyers to run the risk of buying a property, or tempt them into buying a property, should I say, on the basis that their costs are now increasing with the rising cost of getting a mortgage through interest rates and all the rest of it. So it's as I say, I'm quite cautious about how things are going to move forward. I'm seeing, again, some pundits suggesting that the prices will drop 5% over the course of the next year, and 10% over 2 years. I'm also seeing the other end of the scale saying that property prices are due to drop by 40%, and I've even heard some suggest even 50 to 60% price drops. From my side, again, at the risk of sounding like I'm unable to make up my own mind up, I'm actually more cautiously in the middle. And that's for a number of reasons, and it's largely economic that I'm cautious. And the reason why I believe there will be a fall in house prices is because of the one thing that underpins the property market, which is not necessarily interest rates and all the rest of it. It's actually consumer confidence. And that's the big thing that gets overlooked by a lot of pundits in the marketplace, is that they underestimate what it is that drives the marketplace, which is consumer confidence. And if consumers aren't confident in having an income, i.e. having a business that works or having a job that provides them with a stable income, then they're not going to be willing to sign up to a 25-year mortgage or extend themselves by paying over the odds for a property that actually they could probably buy cheaper if they bought around the corner or they waited 6 months. So that's my cautionary tale. I feel I don't want to be talking the market down or be seen to be talking the market down, but I think we have to face facts and we have to be realistic. Prices have risen substantially. I was expecting the market to drop in actually 2019, believe it or not. I was cautious that the prices had risen, and there didn't seem to be the economic factors to back that up. Now we're seeing much wider economic impacts in terms of supply chains breaking down, inflation beginning to run away, people's cost base in terms of petrol and diesel for their cars, utility bills going up, mortgage costs also going up. And the one thing that also needs to be looked at is the amount of consumer debt that's out there right now. People spending on their credit cards or on their hire purchase agreements for cars and all that sort of thing. As that starts to eat away at the availability of cash in their wallet at the end of the month after they paid for their increased fuel bill and after they paid for their increased food bill, that obviously has an impact on the availability of, or should I say, affordability to be able to plug into a new finance product. So I think there is signs on the horizon that the market will take a dip. I don't think that's unexpected. I don't think it will be perhaps calamitous, but I'm always open to there being another credit crunch arrangement that we experienced in 2007, 2008. There are a lot of things boiling away in the background, and we're seeing big companies shedding lots of staff. That's something not to overlook, particularly as they tend to have their finger on the pulse in terms of the, shall we say, the longer tail impacts in the marketplace, the longer term data, and they can sort of model perhaps more accurately what may happen in the future. And if big companies are shedding staff now, it tends to mean either the impact is already there in terms of a lowered revenue, or they're predicting it to happen sometime soon and they're trying to get ahead of the curve. So I think what I'm trying to say, guys and girls out there, at the moment, it's a cautious sense of proceeding with the marketplace. If you're a buyer, as you know, what I'm doing at the moment is sitting on my hands waiting for a better opportunity to buy, which I think will come next year, probably spring, summer next year. I think that's when the impact will be known. But it could happen overnight, as happened in 2007. I remember being an estate agent at that time, and we were in the office, and I think it was December 2007. It was like somebody come in and unplugged the phones in the office because they just stopped overnight. It was when all the news started breaking about the credit crunch, and that's something to be aware of. That banks are generally over leveraged at the moment. I believe their balance sheets are carrying a lot of, shall we say, risky trades or risky debt that they've sort of put themselves in a position and got exposed on. So it could take one major financial calamity like a bank to fall over, and that could start the whole process again and tie up the market. So I'd be cautious personally if I was in your shoes as a buyer. As a seller, there's never been a better time to sell a property than right now. I would suggest if you hadn't sold it in the last 6 months, I would probably take advantage of the tail end of what appears to be the boom in the property market, and I would get your property on the market with a competent estate agent who's going to work like crazy to sell the property, because there are people that desperately need to move and they've got money in the bank and they're keen to get on with it. So now might be a better time rather than sitting on your hands for 6 months or so and see what happens. So that's my cautionary tale. Happy if anybody wants to disagree with me on that, please do comment away. Let me know your thoughts on what data you're seeing in the marketplace as estate agents and conveyancers. The number of transactions that you're dealing with, of course, is always a good indicator as well. So that's a bit of a market update, and let's crack on with today's questions. So guys and girls, thank you for all of your amazing questions. Really appreciate you sending them through. As always, if you've got any questions, concerns, comments, feedback, please feed them through to us. The email address is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also view past webinars and individual questions from past webinars on our website. If you go to wiggywam.co.uk, that's wiggywam.co.uk, and click on the broadcasts section at the top of the menu bar there, you'll get access to all of the previous editions of these webinars that we've done if you're finding them useful and helpful, or if you've got any feedback at all, you can feed that back through us through the website. And you can also, there's options for, depending upon who you are, whether you're an estate agent, conveyancer, removals company, surveyor, any of those people, you can have options to join WiggyWam and join the WiggyWam community and deliver your excellent services to our user database there as well. You can also get in contact with us through Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at WiggyWam_UK. That's at WiggyWam_UK. And as always, we welcome any kind of questions, comments, feedback from our WiggyWam community, you amazing guys and girls out there who are supporting the revolution in the property market. And as always, if you would be so kind as to share this with your friends and family, if you want to invite them to a future webinar in the future, we'd love to see you here live, or by all means, you can share this information with them if they're thinking about moving house. As you know, let them know that we're here as a resource that they can tap into and plug into with any of the questions or concerns that they may have. All right. And don't forget, with Christmas just around the corner, get yourself a copy of Home Buyer's Secrets, or pass this on to anybody who you know is looking to move home over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. It's an invaluable resource, even if I do say so myself. I put my heart and soul into this book, and I firmly believe it's there as a guide to really help and support anybody who's looking to move, to help you negotiate a great deal on your next home, to help protect your interests in terms of things going wrong, and they always do when it comes to buying or selling property. Your entire journey is mapped out within this book, and it's really going to help you. So, as I say, homebuyerssecrets.co.uk is the website where you can grab a copy of that book. Also, get access to the online training course as a point of value for getting that book as well. So, thanks ever so much indeed for joining us here, guys. I look forward to seeing you on a future webinar very, very soon indeed. And I'm going to say good night and God bless you all, and look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, you take care. Bye bye.